Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready to rock? Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Heavy Metal Sunday at Dunsy's, where you get to watch an old heavy metal guy, me, looking through an old heavy metal magazine, in this case Kerrang number 20, while drinking a cup of coffee. Now, first of all, let's address the elephant in the room here. On a hangover scale, I'm about 9 out of 10 at this point in time, but I'm going to breeze through this today, folks, because people need their daily dose, or need their Sunday weekly dose of heavy metal. So I may be struggling here. I've got Lucozade, I've got all the stuff, I've got my Nawabum encyclopedia. Most importantly, I have Mr. Rob Halford on the cover of Kerrang 20 from July the 15th to the 28th of 1982. I've even got a post-it note on it. 60p. Heavy makes you happy. Indeed. So I'll take that post-it note off. So who's in this week's episode? Judas Priest, exclusive interview. The Stones, Saxon, Demon, Spider, Angel, The Who, Motorhead, Full Line at Mick Box, Cheetah, Hanoi Rocks, and what's Adamant doing in Kerrang? That's a question that we want to hear here. So, what do we have? Starts this week, the official HM charts specially compiled for Kerrang from a nationwide survey of 50 specialist shops. Number 1, this is the singles, AC/DC, For Those About to Rock, We Salute You, Fire. Number 2, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Freebird, obviously a reissue, and Asia, Heat of the Moment. Asia, I never really got Asia. Now I'll be quite blunt in this one maybe, because I got a bit of a sore head, bit grouchy today. I never really got Asia, not really my sort of thing. Albums, number 1, Robert Plant. I don't own Pictures at 11. Kiss, Killers, Raven, Wiped Out. Now there's a classic. Import albums, Kansas, Vinyl Confessions, and number 2, Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. I love the Crew. Then we have an advert for Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. Bloodstone. The guitar riff in Bloodstone is one of my favourite guitar riffs of all time. I cannot play it. So we'll have an exclusive interview by Steve Gett of the Priest. Look at Rob Halford there, he's sticking his fingers in his eyes. He was still drinking and drugging at that point, maybe that's what it was. We were always proud to say that we were a HM band. Heaven, Heavy Metal Records. We have Eloy. I think I maybe had an Eloy album, a picture disc at one point. German sort of prog type stuff, I think. I didn't like it much. Bitches Sin, Predator, and the mighty Split Beaver. Sorry about this on a Sunday, folks. The mighty Split Beaver, When Hell Won't Have Ya. I think one of the guys who's in Split Beaver shared my video, because I did a cover on my other channel of a Split Beaver. So, have Lizzie gone disco? Have they split up? Full Line at Spilled the Beans to Steve Gett, and an advert for one of the greatest albums of all time, The Rods. Wild Dogs, Fight to Be Free. Yeah, most of the time I am pretty wasted, well, admits honest Ron Wood of the Rolling Stones. And Mick Box, that was on the cover of another heavy metal encyclopedia, what was it called? The Hard Rock and Heavy Metal Encyclopedia. Mayhem, what's in Mayhem? Oh, 3 ladies. Despite rumours to the contrary, Kiss are far from washed up, it says here. This is 1982, remember. The band are currently ensconced at the record plant in Los Angeles, putting the finishing touches to their new studio album, Creatures of the Night. Ace Frehley, though beset by a number of personal problems, is still in the ranks and will tour with the group in September. I don't think so. When the LP produced by Michael James Jackson, not Michael Jackson, Michael James Jackson is released. What else have we got here? Magnum have come home from the States earlier. They were sporting Aussie, I think. earlier than expected. It transpires that while the Birmingham Pomp Rockers were supporting Aussie, see, told you, in Nashville, no, Tony Clarkin didn't have his head bitten off. They went down the proverbial storm. After listening to the crowd reaction on a recording of the show, the lads decided to come back to Blighty and mix a live album as soon as possible. A likely story. Aldo Nova, Human League. New Motorhead recruit Brian Robertson was wandering around the corridors of a hotel in California one night dressed only in a towel. When Lemmy and Phil descended upon the disorientated guitarist, swiped his protection and left him wandering around Starkers. The camera's not focusing, sorry folks. Starkers. Eventually Robbo was let off the hook and allowed to return to his previously locked room. Those crazy guys in Motorhead. So I'll scan some of that in for you folks. Where are they now? I don't know who that is. I keep forgetting to give the answers to these on the next again video, so sorry about that, but I'll try and remember on this one. Saxon, Biff's tight trousers. Look at those. Saxon. Contact on the Rocks, HANOI ROCKS. Somebody commented on the recent video about HANOI ROCKS and HANOI ROCKS live album. What's the live album? All those wasted years. I mean, it's okay. Like I said, you know, I don't dislike HANOI ROCKS, but I was never into them as much as some of my friends. See, people seem to pick Motley Crue or HANOI ROCKS, and I picked Motley Crue. Demon. We're not just occult band. Get it, says Demon. Demon. And a big advert for April Wine with a triple pickup Les Paul Custom. I wonder if that was wine red. I think so. Look at the Motorcycle Madman. He's on stage with a towel on his head. Better Ted than dead. So these are album reviews. I will scan these in for you. What are we reviewing? We're reviewing Ted Nugent, just the album called Nugent. That's quite good, that. What's on that again? No. Tail Gunner. Split Beaver, when hell won't have you. Ario Speedwagon, Good Trouble. Is that after their multi-platinum selling High Infidelity? April Wine, Power Play, decent April Wine album there. The Outlaws, Los Hombres Made. Volts, don't know much about Volts. Night's Fall, The Hunt, The Thrill of the Kill, don't know much about that. Bitches Sin, Predator on Heavy Metal Records. Bitches Sin, Kerrang, that name is so heavy. They've just got to be good. One problem, they aren't. And I'm quoting this is not my opinion here, folks, if anybody from Bitches Sin is listening. In fact, Bitches Sin are useless, garbage material. They can't play, they can't sing, they can't produce. That's devastating review there in Kerrang. Motorhead with Robbo. One of my favourite players, Robbo, and especially his wah-wah work. The late great Bernie Tormey there. A cool photograph that. Concerts live at the Marquee, the Electric Gypsies. Bernie. What a great guitar player Bernie was. What a great guitar player Bernie was. The J. Giles Band at Wembley Stadium, they're supporting the Stones, I think. Stray, live at the Marquee. Mortal Disguise. Mortal Disguise. Don't know much about them. White Spirit, with Yannick Gers on guitar. Although would he be in? Well, he must have been. He would have been in Gillen by then, I think. Grand Prix at the Marquee. Armed and Ready. Who's in Armed and Ready this week? We have. Oh, I remember this one. Americade. Thought it was quite a cool name. Americade and Buffalo. Buffalo are a UK band, and The Life of Brian Adams. So I'll scan those Armed and Ready's in. What does it say about Americade? Lock up your daughters. Hold your horses. The year of the red, white and blue has arrived. There you go. Americade. Kilowatt. We have Spider. Status Who. Great band. Great band were Spider, rock and roll gypsies. Spider are an honest, hard-working, Liverpudlian quartet who fulfil every ideal that was ever imagined of boogie, indeed. I think Sniffer's playing an aria or something there, I think. There we go. Spider live. Dokken, Don Docker. Based in LA, Dokken caused a reasonable stir, I like that, a reasonable stir, with their first UK album release titled Breaking the Chains. Yet despite residing in the States, band leader Don Dokken has strong German connections, and we have Ajay, is that how you pronounce that? Adrian Vandenberg. They sported MSG 83, 82, 83. Strictly for connoisseurs, or scan these in, I'll see how many of these I've got. Two, I've got two of these. So the first one is Bedlam, formed in 1973. Don't know anything about that. Yesterday and Today, their first album, YNT. Coliseum Rock by Stars, classic album that. Pirates, Skull Wars, not much about them. And Blackfoot, No Reservations. That was really hard to get that one. It was you had to buy that one on import. No Reservations and Flying High, the first sort of two albums, were really, really difficult to get. Oh, look at this Angel, and on a Sunday as well. Angel, handsome looking fella's an Angel. And Ted Nugent and Adam Ant. Oh, let's get on there. We have the Angel discography. Are we? We're not focused. Are we focused? There we go, focused. Oh, a bit slow today, folks. Sorry about that. Oh God, pen pals. Look at there's two young lads here with bowl cuts who are like 13 and have written in looking wanted female egg bangers, 13 plus into maiden, etc. Photos appreciated. All letters answered. I'm not going to scan this in, but my goodness. Dear oh dear oh dear. Pen pals. Status Quo Freak 16 wants female 15 plus. Directed those days, Girl 20 seeks fellow Christian headbanger to write or gigs into Quo Who Rush Lizzie Saxon. Here's something for Scotland. Guy, mid-20s, shy and lonely, seeks sincere girl. No insincere girls, please. Reading 1982. I think that was the best for heavy metal Reading lineup, 1982. That's just my opinion, folks. My opinion. What we're at? 12 minutes. I'm going through it quite fast today because okay, I think I need to lie down, to be perfectly honest. CHEETAH. Sisters Lindsay and Chrissy Hammond, who front the Australian rock band CHEETAH, are caught here in a relaxed mood. And a damn sight better looking than Angry Anderson they are too. The debut Rock and Roll Women LP met with indifferent critical response upon its release a couple of months ago. One wonders whether these two lasses from down under will show us what they're all about when they appear at this year's Reading Festival. We shall see. Can't remember if I showed you that. CHEETAH. Rock and Roll Woman. And there he is, Rock Feinstein. When did you start playing guitar? Well, I started playing drums in 1966. Bloody hell. Why did you start? The challenge of it. First type of guitar, a Gibson ES330. That's alright for your first guitar, eh? Musical training, I had trumpet lessons when I was 7. So that's, what does he use? Equipment Live, Marshall amplifiers with custom speakers. Sun's away. I've got custom built preamp and echo. The main guitars I have are a 58 Les Paul Junior and Gold Top, but they're all Gibsons. Other guitarists you admire, I must mention Randy Rhoads because he was very good. I also like Edward Van Halen, Jeff Beck and Richie Blackmore. Letters. Oh, this is us at number 20, so what I'll do is I'll do a bonus episode, not today, we'll go lie down today. I'll do a bonus episode reading out some of the angriest and best letters from Kerrang issues 11 to 20. I'll see if I can find one here. Here we go. Cozy Powell deserves a break. For God's sake, give Cozy Powell a break. He's only human, you know. Just because he's got a few interests outside of the music biz, such as cars and bikes, doesn't justify the title of bum. Did somebody call him a bum? People always seem to pick on him for his infidelity to groups. How about Michael Schenker? He's not exactly an angel, is he? Maybe he thought that MSG couldn't contain Cozy's ego in addition to his, or possibly Cozy realised that MSG was a dead loss. And going the same way as Rainbow, God forbid, since the departures of Gary Barden and Paul Raymond, deciding to have a well-deserved rest for a while. Take it easy, Cozy. Don't get me wrong, I used to be MSG's #1 fan. There you go. So the biggest fan in the entire world of the Michael Schenker group has taken the time to write into Kerrang. Quite spectacular. I personally consider the original lineup of Schenker, Barden, Airy, Phillips and Foster to be the best. I don't think Simon Phillips would have been going on tour with MSG. Now I'm afraid that Schenker may have caught the dreaded Richie B complaint, even if he is a bloody good guitarist. Stop picking on our Coz, and maybe he will forgive us and return to give the real Cozy Powell fans another few years of pleasure. Late great Cozy Powell. Oh, there we go. Vince. I'll not read this one out, but I like how it opens. To all Christian headbanging persons. And there's Vince the Hair Neil, and on the back we have classic cuts, won't get fooled again by The Who. I just did a video on my main channel of my Pete Townsend gold tops. There you go, folks. That was Kerrang issue 20 from July the 15th to the 28th of 1982. Read to you by a very hungover old Scottish guy. And I'll have scanned loads of stuff in so you can pause the video and read it at your leisure. Now I'm going to go and drink my Lucozade and maybe lie down. Enjoy your Sunday, folks. As ever, it's always a pleasure doing this sort of thing. Cheers for now.